Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to tell you how yes you, can prepare for the upcoming Hyper Burning Max that's going to be coming to our server in GMS on June 11th. I'm going to tell you how you can finish the Hyperburn as fast as possible, what you could do today if you don't want to create your Hyperburn on the day of. Maybe you want to prepare for it, what resources you can get to make things easier in the future. Definitely share this video with everybody who you think is going to come back to the game, or maybe somebody who's new that wants to come into the game during the upcoming June 11th summer massive patch. Of course, subscribe because it really helps me out so much and allows me to keep doing these types of videos. Pull up to the live stream, which also helps out so much. Join the Discord where you can ask questions and join the community. And also stay up to date with all the upcoming videos and whenever I go live and all that kind of stuff. With that all out of the way, let's begin. So what even is Hyper Burning Max? For those who don't know, this is what Hyper Burning Max is. Long story short, every single time you gain one level, you will also gain an additional 4 levels. So let's say you level up from level 200. You're going to get to level 205. You level up from 205, you're going to get to level 210, 215, 220, and so on, all the way up to 260. So what this means is you're going to level up very, very, very quickly during Hyperburn Max. And this is a huge opportunity to make a new main or a side main or switch mains or something like that. It also comes with a ton of level up rewards. So as you level up, you're going to get rewards with you. Now, keep in mind, if you start the Hyperburn Max at level 200, you won't get the level 200 reward. You'll get the starting reward, the 10 to 199, and every further reward. And this goes for every single level. Let's say you decide to Hyperburn Max a character that's 220. You won't get the 220, 215, 210, and 200 reward. You will get the start one. So keep that in mind. What that basically means is I would highly, highly, highly recommend that when Hyperburn Max comes out, you just make a brand new character. Make a character from scratch because you'll be able to level up so quickly with something called Terra Blink, which we'll talk about in a bit. Or at worst, I would say if you want to Hyperburn something, make sure you do it at level 200 because whatever, you're not losing out on too many rewards. Me personally, one of my characters, I'm doing it at 210, which obviously does mean I'm going to lose out on a little bit more, but I'm still going to do it anyways because I don't want to remake the character. But that's what I would recommend for you guys. I would highly recommend to just make a brand new character on Hyperburn Max. But this video is still going to have information on what you can do if you already have the character existing right now to prepare for it. So the first thing that I really want to talk about in this video when it comes to preparation is how you can get your character to level 260 as quickly as possible when the Hyperburning Max comes out. So right now with this current Victoria Cup event, there are more than enough resources to get your character to level 260 the moment the Hyperburning Max comes out. And the way that we're going to be doing that is utilizing Magnificent Growth Potions and EXP vouchers. So from the stamp book where you have to kill 1,000 monsters 5 times a week, you can get 4 Magnificent Growth Potions. Now, I really recommend saving these Magnificent Growth Potions for the upcoming Hyperburn Max because these you can delay claiming them until the end of the event. You don't have to claim them immediately. You could just hold on to it, just like how I'm holding on to all of these other items. And it's the same with the XP vouchers. Let's say you're at 0 XP vouchers, you've used them all. There's still another 9,000 XP vouchers that you can get until the end of this event. You get 3,000 of these every single week. So let's keep that in mind. You have 4 Magnificent Growth Potions and up to 9,000 XP vouchers. If you saved all of them from the start, then you're in an even better position. Magnificent Growth Potions give you a free level between 200 to 250. So we can use these to get a lot of levels later into our Hyperburning Max. Now, some of you might know that there are an additional 2 Magnificent Growth Potions here, but they each cost 10,000 stamps. I think that's way too expensive, and the vast majority of people that are watching this type of video probably shouldn't buy this because the other resources are more worth for your stamps. Extreme Growth Potions, Strawberry Farms, even the nodes, flames, event rings, these are probably more worth for your character. You could even get these event rings for your Hyperburning Max in the future if you really want to prepare that far ahead. I think they're way too expensive. If you're somebody who's really deep into the game that doesn't need any of these other resources at all, then I think it's okay to get it. But for most people, I would say let's just act like we don't have these additional Magnificent Growth Potions because they're very expensive, and let's just work with the 4 that we got. There's also this Magnificent Growth Potion from the long distance running part of the event. I don't really know how long this has to expire. I don't know if it's going to go away today at reset and you had to claim them. So I just claim them now and use them. But if you guys know how long this lasts and if it can last until the Hyperburn Max, then that's even better. And I believe when the second part of this comes out after reset today, as of uploading this video, I think there's going to be another Magnificent Growth Potion in there. So you can hold on to that one. But let's just pretend that we only have these 4 and maybe we can get an additional 5th one from the long distance running event. Now, the long distance running event is very annoying to do, to cap it out every single day, because the rates of the drinks are so slow. So some people might not even be able to get it. But I know most people will definitely be able to get at least these 4 because it's only 1,000 monsters 5 times a week. So let's calculate how far we can get into a Hyperburning Max character starting at level 200, but we use 9,000 XP vouchers and 4 Magnificent Growth Potions. So on this site here, which I'll have linked below, this is a table that tells you how many XP tickets you need to level at any given level, right? Since Hyperburning Max, every time you level, you get a total of 5 levels. We're only going to count the ones that are every increment of 5. So at 200, we're going to count 299 tickets because that's how many tickets it costs to level from 200. And then from 205, we're going to count how many it costs from 205 to 206 because that's how much it's going to cost. And then 210, 215, 220, and so on. So with 9,000 XP tickets, at the bottom here, when you have them all highlighted, it says it right here at the bottom, what's the sum. So I highlighted everything until it got to over 9,000. So everything highlighted up to level 230. So 11,714. This is how many tickets you would need to get to level 240 with XP tickets. But we only have 9,000 from the rest of the event. So let's see how we can get an additional like 2,000 to 3,000 XP tickets. So another event that's going on during this entire thing is the Motion Special Level Up Support. Now, I know this is kind of random, but the Motion rewards can be transferable, some of them, right? And this is where we're going to get the rest of our XP tickets if we don't have enough as of today. So you can see at the level 210 mark, you get 2,000 XP vouchers if you hit 210 on your Motion, and at level 220 you get 5,000 XP vouchers. So I personally think that getting to 220 is probably really worth it on Motion because you can get an additional 2,000 to 5,000 XP vouchers, a total of 7,000 additional XP vouchers, which puts you at a total of 16,000 XP vouchers. So let's see how far we could get with 16,000 XP vouchers instead. With 16,000, you could almost get to 245. You're just slightly off. You need 787 more, and you would get to level 245. So if you were to get your Motion to level 220, you can almost get your new Hyperburning Max to level 245. You would have to probably just do your dailies or something, and then that would get you just enough XP to go right over it. With the 16,000 XP vouchers that you get from Motion 7,000 and the remainder of the event, which is 9,000, you'll end up at level 240, 84% on your Hyperburning Max. Let's say you do your Arcane River dailies. Since you're level 240, you have all of the Arcane River dailies available as well. You will end up leveling, and obviously since this is not calculating the Hyperburn, you'll end up leveling to 245. So this would actually be 245, but the whole point is it would push you over to the edge, and you wouldn't need those extra like 700 to 800 XP vouchers that we saw earlier. You would get to 245. So let's say you're starting off at level 245 now because you used all of the XP tickets. So now the question is, how many mag pots, Magnificent Growth Potions, do you need to go from 245 to 260? And the answer to that is 5. You need 5 Magnificent Growth Potions. I calculated all the numbers for you so that you can get your 5 Magnificent Growth Potions and you will hit 260 with the 5 of them with a Hyperburning Max. So from 245 to 250, that's 1 mag pot. From 250 with 1 mag pot, it'll get you at to 255.66%, and from 250 66% and another mag pot, you'll get to 255 22.9%, and from 255 22.9% with another mag, you'll get to 255 80%, and from 255 80% plus another mag, you'll get to level 260. Now, the XP calculator website doesn't have Hyperburning Max as of recording this video. So what I did to calculate these numbers, in case anybody wants to check my homework, is I found this chart that tells you how much XP you need per level we know that a magnificent growth potion gives you exactly 294.971 billion XP. So what I did is I would just add that XP and subtract from however much was remaining. And that's how I got all the percentages and how many mag pots you needed to level. So you need 5. So this is, just to be absolutely clear, this is what your hyperburning max will look like if you want to get a character pretty much to 260 in like one day. 0 to 200, you Terra Blink. 200 to 240 with the 16,000 XP vouchers we talked about earlier. And Arcane River Dailies will get you to level 245. 245 to 260 is 5 magnificent growth potions. So what's Terra Blink? If you don't know what that is, what exactly is Terra Blink? So when you create a brand new hyperburning character, let me reiterate, a brand new hyperburning character, you'll have access to an event called Terra Blink. And what Terra Blink is it's basically this special map with Spiegelman that gets you to level 200 in like 15 minutes. It's extremely fast. You get a free pet along the way. You have to do some very, very basic quests like put on an item, Star Force an item to 10 stars. It's very, very fast. And you kill all these mobs and then you'll hit level 200 extremely quickly. So yeah, make sure you share this with all your friends. Tell them this is a way that you can get to 260 as quickly as possible on a upcoming hyperburn. There are different paths that people have showed me on stream before. People have shown me different Reddit posts, different videos saying like, this is how you should do it. For me personally, I did look at those posts, but I found that this method is probably the best way for most people, I would say, because other methods required you to buy those 10,000 stamp magnificent potions or have a lot more XP vouchers than you can get. So I decided to make my own like formula basically based off of what you can get today if you already claimed everything up until this point. So now the second part of this video, let's talk about preparing a character that you already have created for Hyperburning Max. That's going to be on June 11th. So what can you do today to prepare a character for the future? So the first thing is you want to get the character to a point where you can do daily bosses. So the most important daily bosses that you're going to want to do on these characters is Golux, Pink Bean, and Arcarium. You want to at least run these 3 bosses every single day on whatever character you want, because the resources that you get from these, Pink Bean belts, Black Bean marks, Dominator pendants, Golux coins, superior gear, are pretty much daily restricted. Like, you have to run these bosses for a very long time to actually get the resources from them. So the earlier you start, the better. But getting to this point can be a little hard if you're a very weak character. Like for me, for example, I'm hyperburning this Evan. I have like 100k CP, so it's going to be really, really hard to actually do anything. So you would want to prep this character through getting the daily boss accessory gear. Now, this is a lot easier if you already have a character that you can trade bosses with people in the community, or maybe you could ask somebody to help you, because these are just daily bosses. You're not asking anybody to help you with weekly bosses or anything that really costs anything. You're going to want to get the daily boss accessories, so like Zac Face and Eye, Horntail ring, earring, pendant. You can even get an Arcarium pendant as well. Magnus badge, Magnus shoulder, even the Magnus shoe and cape are good. If you can find someone to take you hard or trade to get a Tyrant cape, that could definitely help a lot. Same with CRA gear. If you can get yourself a set of CRA gear, it would definitely help as well, because it'll make it so that you can run these dailies every day by yourself or maybe with someone and start collecting these resources as quickly as possible. Now, some of you might ask, like, should I do Arcane River dailies on my mules? The reason why you might not want to do Arcane River dailies on your mules when you're preparing for Hyperburn is because the Arcane River dailies give you a lot of XP. So if you're getting a ton of XP from dailies, or let's say Monster Park, you could brick your Hyperburn rewards a little bit or desync your levels so that your Hyperburn isn't on a nice even 0 or 5 ending level. So I would highly recommend, if you're doing it like how I'm doing it, where it's an already pre-existing character, I would only do it if you already have a character on your account that can farm resources. You could trade bosses with someone, farm mesos, farm nodes. Nodes are very, very important to try and accumulate as many as possible. Another thing that you can do is Scrapyard and Dark World Tree weeklies. If you do these maybe once a week, you can accumulate enough resources to get the Abso set on your upcoming Hyperburn. Now, some of you know that there's item burning that's coming with the Hyperburning, but that's only coming for one of them. So the other Hyperburning that you're going to get, because there's 2 Hyperburning maxes, you're going to want to get Absolab gear on it. Also, the item burning gear is not forever, so it could be useful to accumulate some of these resources for the upcoming Hyperburn. But I would say, like I keep mentioning, if you want to do another character, it's very important to have one that's already kind of established accomplished so you can farm mesos, nodes, and trade bosses for the character that you want to level up in the future, especially the meso and nodes part. If you choose to go about it this way, you're definitely going to want to have a bunch of resources for it ready, and that would require you farming from now for it. If it's like an upcoming main that you want to use the Hyperburn Max for, I would highly recommend getting at least 2 of the event rings for the Hyperburn, maybe even 3, so that you can have good gear to make it to meso drop gear. But this is going to require you to save a lot of stamps throughout the event and play for the future, which this is perfectly okay to do. But that's about it for this video. I wanted to talk about how you can prepare for the Hyperburn Max, or if you're doing a character that is already made, what dailies you should be doing every day on it, because the earlier you start, the better. That's my take on it. That's my advice for you guys. Obviously, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, pull up to the live stream so we could talk about it. Also join the Discord. Let me know what you guys are hyperburning, or if this strategy is going to work for you. Let me know what your strategies are and anything like that. I always love reading all your comments. I do really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Shout out to my members: Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, Jay, Kyle, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Assassin, Henzo, Henrique, and Kelvin. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you everybody who submitted fan art. You can always submit it in the Discord and it'll be put at the end of every video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.